Hello, this is Juniper of Solavi Studio, and welcome to my backyard. The other day I saw a sign. Usually the local fire department, they have one of those message boards, and the new message is, "If not you, then who?" Which, that's been percolating with me for a few days. If not you, then who? And it got me thinking to personal responsibility and how, in my opinion, in our culture, there is an extreme lack of personal responsibility, to the point where if you're going to buy a warm drink to go, those plastic lids that go in the drink cup often have contents may be hot, drink with caution, or something of that nature, due to a lack of people taking personal responsibility. That is a disclaimer for a lawsuit. And you can think of all those terms of agreements that you have to, oh yes, I agree that I will behave properly to use this application. Yes, I agree that I won't come sue you if I do something silly. Forms of consent, that sort of thing. How much time do I spend reading those terms of agreements, forms of consent, etc., 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 because of people who are unwilling to accept personal responsibility and always playing the victim and trying to find someone else to blame so that they can get a free this, they can get a free that, and they can get some extra money. It's shameful, in my mind. If not you, then who? If there is something that you feel passionate about, what are you doing about it? If you honestly feel that people going hungry is horrible, what are you doing about it? If you feel that people not having access to clean water, what are you doing about it? If you feel strongly that people don't have proper hygiene or a clean environment or sewage disposal, what are you doing about it? If not you, then who? So all of these things that people feel passionately about, yes, it's very, very easy to get on Facebook or any other social media platform and see this, oh, all these starving people, it's such a horrible thing, or these 5 people just got shot in a mass shooting. It's so easy just to click the share button, but not actually do anything more than that about it. You just shared a bunch of bad news with people. You didn't actually do anything to help make it better. On the mass shooting thing or the violence thing, how are we, if that's something you feel strongly about, how are we helping to support people? Happy people don't cause mass shootings. It's unhappy people who don't feel self-worth, who don't feel anyone gives a darn about them, who have no self-esteem, who are angry because they don't feel loved. This is all my opinion. How are we helping the people in our life to feel loved and supported and cared for? And are we creating programs after school for children to promote a sense of self-worth, to provide activities that boost their self-confidence, that make them feel like a worthy human being? Or are we just, oh, it's such a travesty, let's just focus on the gun laws? No, guns, yes, are a tool to hurt people, but they don't get up on their own and do it. It's in a human hand. That's the real travesty, because that human has suffered too much trauma and they're done with being traumatized. Again, my opinion. But if not you, then who? Like I spoke of yesterday, you can feel dissatisfied and you can complain all you want. But that's not going to change the real situation. So if you believe in God, spirit, divine, universe, creator, source, whatever you want to call it, if you believe in that, that thing you cannot physically see. They cannot physically manifest anything, but that source of inspiration, that connection to your higher self, that piece of God, the universal divinity that lives within you as a person, you can tap into that to make changes, to actually manifest what inspirations your higher self receives without you actually doing something to make those changes. It won't change. If not you, then who? Are you just going to wait and encourage everyone else to get up and do something where you just sit by and watch the screen? Or are you going to actually contribute and make the change? So I've been spending a lot of time making the sweater. And yes, of course, I could go to any department store and buy a brown sweater. Easy. I could be done in 5 minutes. Walk in the store, buy a sweater, walk back out. But how do I know how the sweater was made? Was the sweater made by a machine, run by a person who's paid pennies a day, who is spending 18 hours running that machine, and they can barely feed their family? Is that sweater made out of synthetic fibers that in the production process create so much poisonous chemicals that it's killing animals? Is that sweater I buy in the department store dyed with dyes that pollute and kill the plants in that region? Is that sweater produced in such a way that it creates these nasty gases that further the greenhouse effect? I don't know. I just walk into a department store, buy the sweater, and I don't give a darn. Because of my lack of personal responsibility. I don't care. Doesn't affect me. Whatever. I just want my sweater. I'm gonna go. Whereas the sweater I'm making, I've seen a picture of the actual animal and the beautiful little meadowy field that it was raised in. The other locally sourced wool, I've driven by lots of farms out here. Locally sourced wool, the animals are treated very, very well. Sorry, fish jumping. I did buy some Luet, which is, I believe it's a British spinning company. And the Europeans have much stricter laws about how animals are treated than we do as Americans. So, and I'm not dyeing it at all, not even with natural dyes. I was thinking about using some walnut hulls, but it's such a beautiful brown color anyways, just from the color of the animals. I'm not dyeing it. I washed it with biodegradable soap. that was produced by a woman in California. She's quite an amazing lady. Oh, what is the name of her YouTube channel? My goodness. Am I going to try to remember that right now? Namaste Farms. She has a line of fiber washing soaps that are absolutely incredible. And she raises her own animals. So please, if you need to buy funky art yarn, beautifully colored, Namaste Farms. Personal responsibility, and if not you, then who, is my thinking of the day. I know that I probably offended some of you today, but so shall it be. Because if nobody starts thinking about things, there will be no change. And this whole industrialization monster will continue and continue and continue. If not you, then who? Because this industrialization monster has further defined classism, and the classism further creates division, and the division creates more tension. The haves and the have-nots. What would you like to be? Okay, blessings on your day.